Hello, my name is Sierra Stewart, and today I'm going to teach you about orcas and how they are a diverse, intelligent, and cultured wolf of the sea. You may know them as killer whales. My initial fascination with killer whales started with a movie that came out about a year after I was born called Free Willy. It was about this boy named Jesse and a whale named Willie, and the boy named Jesse was a troubled foster child, and he found a connection with the whale and ended up saving the whale's life. I watched this movie so many times that my parents took it away and sent it to my Nana's and said that I was no longer allowed to watch the movie unless I was at Nana's. So I had to turn to articles, documentaries, and just anything that was on TV or the internet that I can learn about killer whales because it had already started a great fascination for me. So let me share you some of the unique characteristics that come with orca whales that don't even belong to other mammals. So killer whales come in about 10 different types. They're kind of broken in between the southern and the northern hemisphere. As you can see here, each type of killer whale has a different shape of an eye spot. Their dorsal fins are different shapes. Some of their color variations are different. Their pectoral fins are shaped different. Even their tails, very similar but very different, just like humans in an aspect, whereas we're all kind of shaped the same, but we come in different sizes and colors and everything like that as well. So as you can see by this map, the orca whale inhabits almost every single ocean in the world. They are a vital part of every ecosystem. And the orca has a very distinct culture from type to type and almost from every clan and pod of orca. Culture is defined as the custom, arts, social institution, and achievements of a particular social group. So with killer whales, they have a pod, which is like a family, that are 20 to 30 strong. Males live to be about 30 to 45 years old. Females live to be about 60 years old. They all stay within a family. No one ever actually leaves the family. If you're born into a pod, you stay there until you die. You do not go, like most animals, they go off for breeding purposes and create their own family, or they wander. In this case, both males and females of every pod stay together until they die. The way that they breed, and they don't have issues breeding, is that every pod has a neighboring pod that has some of the same dialects, some of the same clicks and whistles that they share so that they can communicate and they can have social meetings and breed outside of their pods so that there's no issues. Neighboring pods like this in a certain area are usually referred to as clans. So, like I was saying, one of the main interesting facts about killer whales is that their vocalization differs between clans, like the resident killer whale clans. As you can see here, A clan, G clan, J, and R clan all have different vocalizations and whistles and clicks and hums and grumps. And they even differ from the transient type whales and the offshore whales. So let me play you about 3 of these and let you just listen to the differences. And then here's a transient, much more deeper. And then here's an offshore orca, much higher pitched. So one of the hunting techniques of orcas is called wave crashing. That's very unique to the whale population and dolphins as well. As you can see in the left-hand picture, this killer whale is performing a behavior called spy hopping, where the killer whale gets its body vertical and pops up out of the water and looks at seals and prey that are not in the water, that are on ice shelves or things like that, just to see what's going on. Wave crashing is where a pod of killer whales, usually this is pack ice killer whales in the Antarctica, and they will work together as a pod to swim and make a wave that knocks a seal off of this little ice shelf so that they can, another waiting orca can come in and swoop in and get the seal. It's a very social, very particular thing that they have to have good teamwork for. They have to have synchronization to make that wave happen according to what they want. So just take a look at this. And as you can see, this wave comes back and just knocks that seal right off that shelf and into the waiting mouths of another orca of their pod. So another hunting strategy is called beaching. Most whales and dolphins, it's really bad for them to beach themselves because what happens, the low tide comes out, they're not able to move, they become stationary, they get really sunburnt and dehydrated and their skin shrivels, and most of the time that they die from this because whales are meant to be in the water at all times. But this pod of whales off the coast of Argentina have learned how to optimize the shallow water and the beaching to prey on unexpecting seal pups. So here's just a short video of him doing this. This is actually a very famous whale called Big Ben, and he just comes right in off to the shore, grabs that seal, knocks the seal unconscious, and then wiggles his way right back into the water. Another hunting strategy, and it's called several things. The slap and flip method is what I'm going to call it here. And this is where a whale will come by a stingray or a shark and hit it with the tip of its tail hard enough to stun it and turn it over so it's able to eat the stingray without the fear of being stung. The whales also do this kind of slap method, but with their nose. They call it a karate chop to sharks. And yes, orca whales do eat great white sharks. They are the wolves of the sea for sure. But here's just a quick video of this whale hitting the stingray and knocking it unconscious. And boom, just like that, that stingray is just immobilized, turned upside down, and the whales are able to come in and get their little dinner snack. So not many whales are researched at this time because it's expensive and it takes a long time, but the resident killer whales have been more thoroughly researched in the last 3 to 4 years than any type of whale. And what they have found out is that these whales are matriarch based, which means that their social hierarchy is based with the females in their group. So most of the time, these grandmothers are in charge of teaching all the calves and all the females how to socialize. They hold all of the knowledge, just like a grandmother in a human family would, of where the best fishing places are, where all these tips and tricks like the spy hopping that I was talking about and all these hunting strategies. These grandmothers are in charge of teaching the rest of the generations how these things are done. And what's most interesting to me is that there are only maybe 5 or 6 animals in the animal kingdom that actually go through menopause. Orca whales are one of them. And in my opinion, this indicates that the orca whale females are valued in this evolution of whales to a point that even past the point where they are viable for reproduction, they are still important to the vitality and the survival of the pod. So with all those interesting things, to go back to what I want to do is one day I want to see orcas in the wild for real. I want to go to Orca Island, which is off the coast of Washington State in the United States. And I also would like to travel to Vancouver so I can kayak and I can see some of this in person. I hope that you've enjoyed just a little bit of information on orca whales. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Blackboard. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.